Okay, guys, we're just 1 sec. I need to hide the timer to keep this spoiler free because once again, these ones were done from replays. We thought this might take a little bit longer, so we weren't sure if players would get a chance to play and not have conflicts for the Kespa Cup qualifiers that are happening later tonight. So, again, this series and the next series should we go to are being done through replays. Gotta give a big shout out though, because right there at the end of the commercial break, all day 1904 just subbed to the channel. That's 4 brand new people subscribing to BaseTradeTV today. Feels good, man. Oh wait, don't ban me in chat, Diminch. Spawning here in the bottom left side of the map, though. Whoa. Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen, it's the red Protoss PiLiPiLi representing Cheers for Gaming.
Feels bad, can't use a camera. In the top left, how's the blue Terran? That's the word. He is MajOr.
You had a brain fart, my throat decided to collapse on me. So, you know, greatest intros of all time. Now, of course, MajOr representing the temporary team of Corsair does need to win this series. If PiLiPiLi wins, then it's all over. But I gotta be honest with you, Zombie Grub, I'm actually worried. Because PiLiPiLi has been coming to the Korean server, knocking out really good Korean Terrans in the Alima Leagues.
Who did he knock out?
Ryung, Reality, like all the regulars.
He did?
How are you not remembering this?
I remember he beat one, and then he got killed by another the next, because we were all hyped to cast him, so...
No, I gotta go to Ligulac. I know...
He beat Gumiho, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I know he's beaten several good Koreans, like not even as like a blanket statement, just remembering being astonished by that fact.
I'm right there with you, beating you to it. Hold on, hold on.
No, I'm almost there. I'm loading the match history.
I mean, I'm already there.
Oh, okay.
Beat Xenocider again. Lost to Semper. Lost to Alive. Lost to Kelazur.
Wait, this is actually going really far back. Maybe for some reason it's not on this. Because I know, like, he doesn't have as many Alima League participations on Ligulac as I know that he's been in.
Are you sure?
Like, going back to DreamHack, it's only showing one Alima League he's been in. He's been in at least 3 of them.
I don't remember that, to be honest. I remember the one, and we were all hyped because he was like, "Oh,
oh, you know what? I think one I was casting with Fear Dragon actually, because I remember he got super hyped about PiLiPiLi, and why would he be there if you were there as well?
No, that was one that he cast solo because we both couldn't do it, and that's why he was so hyped. And then he couldn't stream, so he didn't get to find out.
Right, then I had to do it after. But were you there? Well, it doesn't matter. Point is, guys, reality of the situation is no matter what Ligulac says, PiLiPiLi's killed Korean Terrans. Period. So the fact of the matter is, MajOr is not exactly going to be in such a great spot, especially because Terran in general aren't loving this matchup. Even great players like Bjorn, kind of, this is the one time he has a bit of hiccup and trouble.
I found it, by the way. So you just have to go back that far. 2-1 Gumiho, and then Keen and Ryung. So you're right about the names. And you're right about the amount, too. So well done. That was back in June, late June.
Oh, dirty, dirty.
Yeah. So anyways, right, this is pretty dirty.
You know what? I just realized why I probably remember that better than you do.
Why is that?
Because they're like some of the last things I cast before my accident, then I didn't cast anything for a month, right? So you've got like a whole extra month of like stuff cluttering your brain. I don't.
Yeah. I really don't remember casting that. And we definitely didn't cast anything versus Gumiho. That was Fears, but I don't remember Keen or Ryung.
Anyways. Moving on past this, though, the Dark Shrine I'm really interested in. This is proxy, this is cheese, this is meant to catch MajOr off guard, but will it? Because Dark Shrines aren't what they used to be. You've got a lot more minerals nowadays. You don't have to worry about saving as much energy for mules versus scans. And MajOr's actually even got a 3rd CC on the way. So I think these DTs, while initially are a cool idea, ultimately might just be better off as Archons later.
Yeah. And it's gonna work out. Now, MajOr is scouting for probably just a proxy pylon, really, like not necessarily this Dark Shrine, but unfortunately it is in a pretty tucked away location, and he's not done much scouting otherwise. He went for a pretty greedy build, you know? He didn't get to a starport very quickly, or still at all. He's got two barracks, in fact, so this is even an unorthodox build. The good thing about it, though, is that for its lack of scouting, you have one more scan. So maybe you can actually take care of this without even knowing it's on the way.
Yeah, I love, by the way, again, that support from Cheers for Gaming. Cheers for Gaming in Twitch chat right now saying, what do you mean if PiLiPiLi wins?
Hey. Oh, that's 3 SCVs already down. A couple Marines go down, but the scans are available. In fact, there's going to be another one in just a few seconds here. The other one's probably going to be another 10 seconds. Yeah, as long as PiLiPiLi can split up the DTs, he'll at least get the scans and probably a few more units.
And while arguably, like the scans alone are kind of worth it, the point is Major shouldn't die to this, and that's what usually ends up being the case.
There's just something about pro Terrans that I should probably really look into, considering how often I die to DTs, where they will have the scan around X time because they know the timing.
It's also like they just don't get tilted easily. Me, I'm like, you cheesy motherfucker! How dare you use this strategy? I know I can deal with it, but how dare you deal like?
If I deal with it like this, which is like not so bad, even as we see the DT still doing some damage, I'm just like, that's a win right there. If I lose the flipping game, which sometimes I do. I'm like, yes, we're done.
It was all part of training. Well, still relentless with this. The DTs could come back in if he was quick about it. Now he'd get on top of that, but the War Prism gets locked on with the Cyclone. No DT up here to the main. Now that's gonna probably be the end of the aggression. With the turret finishing up as well, there's no more chance to sneak on in there, and PiLiPiLi's gonna have to just give up. Now the problem is for PiLiPiLi, look at the resources lost. Like that combined with putting the Dark Shrine out here, like, is a really expensive opener for him that just didn't work out. And if Major was only on 2 CCs behind this, maybe he didn't have that extra scan. Maybe he takes more damage. But the fact of the matter is, he didn't because of this 3rd CC, and now he'll be able to expand pretty easily with it too if he wants to float that over.
Yeah. That loss of a War Prism was really... It was just really bad, actually. Sieging up like that and then clearly not paying attention to it, going back home, doing whatever, was devastating for the overall plan. By the way, this Widowmine is denied a 3rd base for a lot longer than PiLiPiLi wanted. Single Cyclone's gonna get a pylon? No.
Lock on hype?
No.
I like how he started running away from the probe, by the way. Like, that was Major microing away from a probe. Watch out.
He's just anticipating the army to follow.
Well,
almost.
I was gonna make jokes about how little health the Cyclone has. The probe could have actually maybe killed it. I don't know. Liberator gonna come on over with the pylon set up though. I think he should be able to. There's only one spot to really set it up, and that's over here. Yeah,
the Militia Trooper's a little out of position, so it might get like 2 probes. Not even, because the probes aren't saturating yet. Oh, there we go. Nailed it. So he's gonna leave now. The 3rd CC gave him those extra scans, is already on location, but it also delayed his upgrade. So the good news is, while PiLiPiLi, I think he wanted a bit faster of a Nexus, thanks to that Widowmine, he was unable to get it. He still has this time to kind of breathe. But in 30 seconds, he'll have to start dealing with pushes.
Major's Liberator actually made it to the main. Unfortunately, we'll die in 1 shot, but still, got a probe for it. And denied a little bit of mining.
Great Liberator. Well, the attack could commence now, basically, as everything will line up with it. Maybe not so much the +1, which will be in PiLiPiLi's favor. Oh, DT.
Yeah, been real annoying. Just ran another scan for it, but that's probably one of the last DTs he has to worry about for a while. Like I said, at this point, it's probably more cost-effective just to make them into Archons than to lose them for like 2 to 3 SCVs at a time.
Yeah. There's the push. Not going to bother bringing that tank that was just, I guess, an emergency tank. As he would, 3cc build, you don't get a lot of production, and 1 tank could save you if they went for like a Blink Stalker pressure or something like that. And it being DTs, of course. But this is not a big enough army for Major. At all, I would say. Unless those Widowmines get some pretty decent shots. Oh, those Force Fields are pretty good. Does not get to scoop them up. Kills the Observer so the Widowmines can stay.
All those Widowmines are really going to do is prevent the Adepts from transferring in easily. A fight where he just stays back, I mean, auto attacks still favor PiLiPiLi pretty heavily.
That reaction time, though. I think he ran in and he just pulled SCVs immediately.
What's actually been lost SCV-wise? Only 10 SCVs for 6 DTs. That's really tough to justify that cost.
I was going to guess 8. Dang. But yeah, overall it's not so bad. I think any... Oh yeah, he saw the War Prism with the scan, so it's nice. That was there anyways. It's not just the SCV count, though, of course. And he didn't really get that many army units either. It's not that. It just is the messed up macro that can happen from it, which, we can't really, I guess, specify now that's all over and done with. But the 3rd TC could have been on location a little bit sooner. Maybe he skipped a couple SCV production rounds. Maybe his upgrade should have been faster, that type of stuff. And he did, regardless of the DTs, he went for a greedy build that I wouldn't say really gave him that much of a lead because of all these things combined, and now his army just doesn't look that impressive.
Scan to the south reveals no fourth base, but also that's clear sailing for these medevacs. However, that may have tipped off PiLiPiLi as he did scout with the observer down here. Stalkers were warped in, but Major's just waiting a second or two. Focused up here. Uh-oh. This might not be a fight he can take. Liberators are cool, that tank's nice, and the Widowmines are in a pretty good position. But that's still a lot of army out of PiLiPiLi. Warping in more on the front lines. Major has to go somewhere with these drops in the south soon. Otherwise, there's just a lot of wasted supply that are in the wrong spot at the wrong time.
This observer can barely scout. There's nothing behind this army, and yeah, I think that's what.
Oh, the Widowmines! The Stalkers got absolutely wrecked. Now there's no anti-air. These Liberators can just sit here for days and kill everything left. All the Stalkers blinked on top of 5 Widowmines.
That was so perfect.
Oh,
like sometimes you see a couple not even blink forward, so you're like, well, at least they have some anti-air, but damn. The drop did commence. The Stalkers warped him back home, and they cannot take on the bio without some help.
Although
they do lower the health pretty well.
Liberators give me the Kingmaker here on the front line. Still not that many Stalkers left. As cool as the Widowmine hits were before, they all live, so they're going to get another one off. They burrow once again to cover the Liberators. That was really good out of Major, too, because there's where, if you remember, on the ramp, and he repositioned them expecting Stalkers to blink up at some point. So that was really cool.
Another one, plus the tank fire gets like 4 Stalkers.
Yeah, this is starting to fall off for PiLiPiLi. He doesn't really have an upgrade lead. There's nothing in his production tab right now compared to Major, who's going 2-2. He's even getting air weapon upgrades for the Liberators. This just feels like such a good game for Major at this point. There's not a lot in the scoreboard that really says it should be, but positioning, army supply, like the way he's been playing this out just feels better than the way PiLi's been playing this out.
Yeah. Without those Widowmines, if he had gone for 2 more tanks or more medevacs opposed to more Liberators, he's probably broken by now. PiLiPiLi had like a 10 army supply lead and like a better army too. Better upgrades, and just overall, the depth number was really scary, but everything worked out perfectly for Major. His drop was saved, not much of it, but enough to stop this 4th base from getting up very easily. In fact, he can't save it. Oh, it is Stalkers.
Minor probe transfer was, 7 kills, something like that. Not bad.
Oh, the Warp Prism gets sniped. He could probably disengage. He probably should. Yeah, didn't bring his Liberators here, but that was really nice. With the Warpins coming in at home and the Warp Prism now dead, Major could push out at this point. Just have to be careful not to get his Liberators sniped. Or he could drop with the rest of his medevacs.
These 2 Widowmines in the middle of the map still been chilling for a while.
Yeah, I've been trying to see if they kill anything. And
oh, what if they... Okay, there's an observer here. I was going to say, what if they caught the army running back? But he should be able to auto-attack those.
Yeah. Try and scan and kill the observer? No.
Nah, probably not worth it. He's burned so many scans this game. Liberator sets up in the natural base. PiLi once again finds himself a little bit unable to defend it. So it's only 4 probe kills, 5 probe kills at a time for Major, but it's been consistently building up over time, and PiLi's just been losing out more workers. Reminding you guys, it was like 10-10 earlier, now it's 23-10. And of course, that army trade hasn't been going better as either, and those upgrades, 2-2 now for the Terran.
Yeah, that's pretty good, and the Liberators are upgraded as well, but I was oh-godding at the amount of damn Widowmines that are available.
I mean, on one side, this could go really badly, right? The Widowmines actually end up doing nothing, and I guess the Observer easily picks them up. On the other hand, they could destroy another army like they did those Stalkers earlier.
This was a very risky move by Major, one that I don't think is really worth it quite yet, dropping with all 3 of his medevacs. Because now he doesn't have any medevacs with his main army, so stimming away or stimming in is going to hurt him straight up. But actually attacking to the 4th base without PiLiPiLi's knowledge, his observers have been with his army the entire time, and so Naga wasn't taken by him. That's a freebie. If PiLiPiLi noticed how small the army was, he could also attack the 4th base of Major, but he had no idea. There's no way you're gonna get past the Liberators and the Widowmines. This base is forfeit.
The wrong time.
It's not happening to PiLiPiLi. Oh god.
Well, the Adepts try to transfer in. I mean, he has to take a fight. Like, he can't just keep giving things away. Widowmines pop off on everything. Some of Major, some of PiLiPiLi, but the Liberators get cleaned up, and Major, he loses the fight down here to the south, but he's going to win the fight up here by the looks of it. Maybe not. The Adepts actually finally responding. The Marauder count kind of low. Too much stimming for Major.
Yeah. The Widowmines could have definitely been better positioned underneath and around the Liberators instead. But the PiLiPiLi splitting his Adepts certainly helped as well. Unfortunately, I think something killed the Observers that was with his army, so they're all still alive. Now, PiLiPiLi, he has an army supply. If he attacked right now, he could potentially win the game. Like, everything goes his way.
I mean, it could be the final fight. I don't know. But the Planetary Fortress, a couple of ghosts on the way, Liberators set up, everything here still looks better for Major.
Yeah. He would have to get everything going perfectly. That is to say, like, Liberators aren't sieged up immediately. There's no Widow Mines, which there aren't.
There's just no way down here to the south that Nexus ever gets saturated with anything.
No! Wait, oh, he must have thought he'd killed them.
Rip. Well, that probe transfer was bad news. God, that looked trolly. Right side of the map, though, middle side of the map, excuse me, big fight gonna go down. Shout out to Michael Hunt for the 21-month resub. That's right, I got you. 21 months, you're still not gonna trick me. The attack up here actually kills the SCV building command center, so that's gonna be stalled out.
That damn tank.
Yeah, hype this tank. It's only got 3 kills though, so it's not exactly useful.
But
Waiting for those EMPs though.
Oh god, yeah, definitely cancel out of that. But his 4th base isn't used. It's just not gonna be used apparently. I guess he denies the 5th of Major with a single adept, but he really needs to win this army fight, which I'd say if there weren't Liberators, he definitely could, and the upgrades, of course.
Well, we'll see how good these Liberators are. The Stalkers blink underneath them to try and focus them down. We got Liberators covering Liberators. Most of the Stalkers are almost gone, though. Marauders trying to focus fire to 4 or 5 that are left, but that's going to be it. No more anti-air. 1 Stalker remains, and these Liberators are going to kill so many Adepts. The Liberators not gone for the fight, though. Major may have just barely taken this, but he does take it at the end of the day.
Yeah, and that's going to be game. PiLiPiLi can't replenish that much of an army.
I want to remind everybody, too. Major's on 71 supply, but 20 of it's down here in idle Widow Mines and a Liberator.
Yeah. He actually might have lost that fight straight up had the upgrades not been there. Had the Liberator's been a little bit more poorly positioned, sniped a little bit faster. That was really close. And he gets on top of the production, and that's usually game over for Terran. GG.
Major takes that first game, but that was a bit of a hectic game to take. We're going to go to a small commercial break, guys, because I got to run to the bathroom. I'm super sorry about this. So next map will be Galactic Process, and we'll get that going as soon as we're back. We'll see you soon. Alright, hey guys, once again, you're watching the tail end of a black screen because we gotta hide the timer and all that because it's replays. But there we go. Let's hop into it. But okay, game number 2 in this best of 3. Spawning in the bottom left side, playing for Team Temporary, Chairs for Gaming. It's gonna be the Red Protoss, PiLiPiLi.
In the top right, as the blue Terran, he is Major.
Alright, so let's talk about, now that there's a point on the board, directions this could go. Again, PiLiPiLi, if he comes back to win this 2-1, it's all over. Chairs for Gaming wins, they move on to the semifinals. If Major wins, then this will go to a final match between Cats and Panda Bear Me. And I don't know how that'll go, if that's even going to be the case. Again, I've been avoiding all these things to avoid spoiling myself. So, we'll see how this plays out. Ooh, we just had a big resub, but I missed it. 1 sec. Shout out to... Oh, you do it.
Saw the win for the 7-month resub? Is that the one you missed?
Nice. Alright, well, excuse me, as I clear my throat there. Major on Galactic Process against Protoss was unfortunately not really given the opportunity to go for Reapers and to use and abuse them. But Major is the type of guy that has done things like build a proxy barracks, get that 1 Reaper out quick, deal a lot of damage. Obviously it's not happening here, but I'm wondering if that's even on PiLiPiLi's mind right now, or if he's really focused on saying, look, I messed up in that late game, I had a really good lead up to it, maybe I can do something better this game. He's not even worried about the early game.
Yeah. Well, that was a very long drawn out game. That one that PiLiPiLi, I would say, got a bit of an advantage from the get-go. With the DTs, again, adding all the things together, not just the workers killed, I think put a wrench in Major's plan, and actually made it look kind of scary. That seems to happen quite a few times in this matchup, where the Protoss will be ahead about 20 army supply, and good army supply too, like decent upgrades and whatnot. And the Terran is just waiting for the Holy Grail of Liberators. And I'm sure PiLiPiLi, give another shot at that similar situation, could actually win the game, not just dive into Widow Mines accidentally. Mage is going for a different build, so it might just be, less about what PiLiPiLi is doing, more about what Major is doing. Is he gonna go Hellions? That timing of the reactor in the factory is so close. They're so close to each other.
Well, if it is Hellions, I mean, I'm a big fan of Hellions. Not just like the ones that you would drop or do something silly with, but just running 2 up while you attack at the main with a drop, or literally a Liberator or anything else.
What is Hellions, but not reactor to Hellions? So this could just be a Marine drop into the main and Hellions the natural. Or vice versa. That's super standard. You usually see the Widow Mines, of course, but same idea, I suppose. Unless this one Hellion is just it. It's gonna go to Widow Mine drop now. So the one Hellion gets that little bit of, I guess, map control is too hard, like too big of a word for a single Hellion, but it does potentially come in and get a couple of probes lower health. Maybe it can help out the Reaper a little bit. It's really not a lot, and it seems kind of silly to get one, but if the Reapers died, or just in case you need a distraction for the Reaper, it can get some kills.
That first hit actually got a really nice shot off on the probes. Obviously not game ending, but dips in, should be able to get out. This adept gonna head up this way. 4 Marines can easily take it on.
If they were chasing it. It's gonna get an SCV. No! Run, buddy!
Psych? One of mine just wants to give you a hug.
Major wants to
I like that.
off.
Yeah, he threw it down really quick to make sure that would happen. He does kill the adept though, so no transfer away. And I mean, you'll need the supply at some point anyways, so...
Yeah.
PiLi really wishes that adepts never lost that 1 damage, is what that came down to.
Yeah, exactly. The build is pretty obvious, though, to the Adept Scout as is. Like, he knows this is what I might drop. So that's important. You can prepare mentally as well as actually get like an Observer Rouse. Right now he's going to pop up at a Warp Prism. It's actually going for a very quick robotic space, so I wonder if we'll see Disruptor drops. That would be fun. If we see quick Colossus, I'm just going to ask him if he thinks it's Heart of the Swarm.
I'm actually a pretty big fan of Disruptor drops, and even Puck being some of the first to really show us how good that can be, but unfortunately, Disruptors... looks like it will be Disruptor drops. We've got the Warp Prism speed pairing up with it. If Major goes to the main and scouts this, that'd be really nice.
Yeah, a couple of well-placed missile turrets is as effective against the Warp Prism drops as it is against like medevac drops.
Not only that, just get like a single Viking and at least it helps. Like having nothing in the air makes it such a pain. You can't chase with Marines the way you'd like to and all that.
Yeah, especially without stim. It is really a case of like you can either try and just be really Gosu and always split and run away, which is not very reliable, or you can try and just get all of your defenses down already. That medevac should not have died. Throwing it out there, should have just went to the south a little bit more. Whatever.
Well, unfortunately with the medevac going down, man, my throat's starting to collapse on me here. Major never got to the main. He never got to scout that robo. He might not know that there's a fast Warp Prism speed, much less a Disruptor inside of it, that there's Colossus following it up. I mean, everything that PiLiPiLi's doing actually does require a fairly important amount of scouting. So Scan goes down the main and sees that that's going to be the case.
Yeah, the Widow Mine almost got a hit. That would have been very nice. But unfortunately now PiLiPiLi at least knows where that is, and he does know about the Widow Mine at the front too, because a probe died building that pylon.
Yeah.
Odd place for pylon.
All Day 1904, one of our new subs today, asked in chat, do they get free replays or anything like that for subscribing? There's a ton of cool benefits that you get for subscribing to BaseTradeTV. One is we do send out tons of replays. Once this tournament's concluded, we'll share these ones. We had the... Dude, when we sent out that Ting replay pack, it had like 94 replays in it or something. It's crazy. We're not allowed to share everything that we cast, like the Alima leaks, for example, and DreamHacks. They request that we don't share those replays. But pretty much everything that we can, like Corsair Cups and you name it, we have no problem sharing those with our subscribers. Take it one step further, you also unlocked a ton of cool emoticons when you subscribe to the channel, if you weren't already aware. And then, I guess, yeah, just know that you're helping out BaseTradeTV. There's other cool things our mods can talk about too with Partoofs and all that, but this Warp Prism, is it really gonna go down? Okay, the Widow Mine, jeez.
Warp Prism hasn't done too much damage with that Disruptor. The Liberator ended up getting 3 Stalkers, which I think is more than it really should have. A little unfortunate for PiLiPiLi, they went in conga line style. But the Colossus is by far the most interesting thing about this game. He got very quickly into Colossus after the first Disruptor.
The amount of Marauders right now could stim on top of it, technically. I think he wants to just get the pylons to get out, though.
Needs stim first.
Oh, yeah, 5 seconds for finishing. I thought it was already done. Oops.
Oh, that awkward pickup on the medevac.
I know.
You couldn't pick up the Marauder.
Scumbag Marine inside the Marauder medevac. Dude, this guy's a dick. This guy just killed that Marauder.
Seriously. You know, not that I've seen that happen. Not that often.
It happens to me all the time, and I actually sit there debating, like, going back to fix it and possibly lose things just because it puts me on tilt.
I've only ever had it happen when I'm loading up calmly in my base, and then I'm like tilted from that. I guess I've never noticed in the heat of battle.
Yeah, you're too busy having that one Marauder die, so you're like, oh yeah, I guess I didn't leave anything behind. I guess I'm good.
Yeah. Anyway, so the Colossus thing though, like this isn't the first time we've seen this, and they're not the quickest Colossus, so they weren't exactly like, you know, Heart of the Swarm Wings and Liberty, but they are still pretty quick, you know? Like compared to last game, how many Adepts do you have? Not nearly as many, and they don't even have their upgrades. So
and that's the problem, right? Like if the Colossus are there, they're normally really good, powerful units, but if Marauders can just stim on top of them, then they're basically on two very weak legs. Four very weak legs, excuse me.
And there you go. 4. That was a situation where, if not for the force fields, they would have stemmed on top of that Colossus. And then the second one.
Same kind of goes down here, like the few amount of Stalkers in the depths, that's the exact fodder you need to keep that from happening.
Yeah. And of course, at this point, MajOr has scouted that it's not just 1 or 2 Colossus, it's 3. Not that many people are going for, like, the fake Colossus. It's not really a thing so much in Legacy of the Void. But that needs to start prepping against it somehow, and, like, that, the way of defeating Colossus-based armies is still kind of up in the air. You can try and just micro, like, Byun, and that might still be a good way to do it, you know, like Heart of the Swarm style, or you can try and just get so many Liberators and focus fire, which has been lacking from a lot of these engagements back when Colossus were an answer almost Liberators. You would see them not get targeted by them, because they were the last thing to get into the targeting circles.
Yeah.
So, it seems to be MajOr's going for Liberators.
Well, Liberators with range, I like for a lot of different reasons. Mostly the zoning capabilities more than their actual damage, but it's questionable whether he'll get there in time or not. These Colossi in the open looked a little bit tasty. Not going to risk it. You knew the Warp Prism could just pick it up anyways. 4th based on location, finishing up in a moment's time. But MajOr really contemplating actually engaging on top of this. Like, that is not a lot of army. The Liberators coming in combined with the Bio might just be able to take it, but he backs away instead.
The army to the south would have been much more manageable.
Yo, MajOr is really starting to overstim again too. We saw this problem before. With, I think it was like Thermal early on, I can't remember, but right now there's almost no medevacs, and the medevacs he has are all empty, so there's not really a lot of energy to heal these Marines or Marauders.
Yeah. 4 is the standard, always has been for years at this point, but you're right, he is overstimming. Going up against a choke though, like Galactic Process, this is where Defender's Advantage is going to work for you on 3 bases. The 4th is obviously questionable, and that's why MajOr gets to pull away. Doesn't lose too many SCVs, still worth saving the base. Oh, the Adepts run in without the rest of the army. That's a little awkward.
That actually gets shredded. That's a huge mistake out of PiLiPiLi. 18 workers die, but for the cost of an entire Adept army, that wasn't worth it.
No, I mean, MajOr's on 4 bases. Only at 47 SCVs is not that bad. It can be replaced up to 55, and that'd be pretty golden.
Yo, look at the income too. PiLiPiLi might have just taken a huge spike, but let's not forget MajOr, once he's back on landing that command center, he's got those orbitals up. He makes this one into another orbital. He can just mule like crazy to make up that difference.
Yeah, and he recognized the medevac problem too, so making 3 more is definitely a good move, because I think he does have enough Liberators, and they have range. Don't forget that PiLiPiLi is not on a 4th base himself, so this is kind of turning into an all-in. Alright, there he goes, finally gets it, but another mistake like that with the Adepts, and this would just be demolished, and yeah, he would lose the game. So he definitely needs a 4th base.
Someone asking, by the way, a point we made earlier, isn't the Elima League run by Oli Moly? Why can't they share replays? Because you can only get the replays through the Elima League Patreon.
That medevac snipe was pretty baller. That was 16 units there.
Not only that actual count of units, but like the energy on them. Again, he can't heal what little units he has left over, but the Liberators are kicking some serious ass on the ground. MajOr is really got nothing to stop these Liberators.
Yeah. It really is unfortunate though, like 2 medevacs full of units and a fully healthy army could have probably stayed on top of that army as it was going towards the 3rd, and that would have been a loss of 2 Colossus. Instead, he had to wait for his Liberators.
If MajOr's like a little more adamant about this, like he could have caught all this army, stuck, but now they'll be able to escape. He was leapfrogging to play it safe. He didn't want the Stalkers blinking underneath the Liberators. That makes sense, but I think he was focusing a little too much on the SCVs and not enough on killing that army.
He doesn't realize there's an observer over that army. He's trying to be sneaky, and maybe he has enough Liberators that he can do this, but leaving your Liberators alone is always going to be risky. There's no Wood of Mines covering them this time, but they do blink into the Liberators as opposed to onto Liberators. There we go. Walks past Liberation Zones.
While this goes on, perhaps a bit of a base race. There's nothing at home other than a couple DTs for PiLiPiLi. If MajOr scans this right away, oh, but can he? He may have just muled to make up for all of his losses. No, he got the scan. He gets the scan. The DTs are gone. Nothing left to defend this 3rd base.
Oh, and PiLiPiLi lost his army.
All the Colossus
All the
went down. Yeah.
This game, Major's won.
That's got to be it. 16 army supply. It's all that's left. Nothing in the production tab for PiLiPiLi. He just can't believe it. Hands aren't quite off the keyboard. He's just working with what little DTs he has. Another scan goes down. Picks these off pretty easily. Concussive shells are a man's best friend when it comes to fighting DTs.
Yeah. This is... I think it is a little bit of disbelief, you know? Like, I don't know quite where... you just killed on one of mine? I don't know where it quite went wrong on the army engagement. You could say a lot of things went wrong on letting the army get by, even though he knew it was running past and all that. But the army engagement, I really thought he had enough run past the Liberators to win. But then Marauders are just, they're good. I don't know. They took down the rest of the army with the help of like 2 or 3 Liberators, as opposed to all 6 or 7.
Well, Major scores a point for Corsair Gaming.
And doesn't that end the series?
It does.
Yeah.
Thus scoring that point. This means we'll go to the final match. Cats versus Panda Bear Me. That's going to be a ZVZ, I believe. So give us a moment here, guys. We'll get things loaded up. We'll go to a commercial break, and we'll see you for this final match ASAP, as this determines who goes on to the semifinals and who falls down to the loser's bracket.